there, and welcome to week 14 of our movie review series. For this week, we are going to be reviewing the movie How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, aka the third and final movie to the How to Train Your Dragon series. All right, let's break down how this movie will be rated. There will be 5 categories, and each one of those categories will have a rating scale of 1 to 10. Plus, there will be a bonus category called Secret Sauce. The max that this movie can receive as far as points is 50 points, and the max they can receive as far as Secret Sauce is 5. Oh, and we can't forget the time-lapse drawing inspired by this film that I do towards the end of this video, so be sure to stick around for that. So grab your dragons, because it's time for How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. The movie kicks off with Hiccup and his gang on a wild nighttime rescue mission, freeing dragons from hunters. Toothless is up front and center, proving how close he and Hiccup have become. They fly back to Berk, which has basically turned into a dragon paradise. Loud, crowded, and full of life. With the village now overflowing with dragons, Gobber confronts Hiccup about the overcrowding. In true Gobber fashion, he also throws in a personal jab, asking when Hiccup and Astrid plan to finally get married. Both of them awkwardly dodge the question, proving that while Hiccup can handle dragons, commitment might still be the scarier challenge. To clear his head, Hiccup retreats to his cliffside hideaway to work on his map. Astrid joins him, and he tells her about an old story from his dad, a legend of a hidden world where dragons could finally live in peace. Hiccup sees it as a possible solution to Berk's overcrowding, but Astrid skeptically calls it just an old sailor's tale. They briefly dance around the topic of marriage again, but before it gets too serious, Toothless wanders off, leading to a whole new discovery. Hiccup and Astrid follow Toothless into the woods and quickly discover why he ran off. A new dragon, almost identical to Toothless, but white. Astrid names her a Light Fury, but their presence startles her, and she vanishes in a flash of plasma and light, leaving Toothless completely love-struck. What they don't realize is that the Light Fury wasn't a coincidence. She actually was released by Grimmel the Grizzly, a ruthless dragon hunter whose sole mission is to wipe out every Night Fury. And now that he knows Hiccup has one, the hunt has only begun. Later that day, Hiccup and Toothless return to the spot where they saw the Light Fury, only to find a dragon trap and a dart left behind. He brings the dart back to Berk, where Ert immediately recognizes the weapon. He tells them it belongs to Grimmel and informs him that this man is dangerous and that they need to be on high alert. That night, Hiccup settles into his home, only to have Grimmel step out of the shadows. He's calm, smug, and terrifyingly confident. Grimmel mocks Hiccup's dream of a world where dragons and humans can live together, calling it childish. He reveals he hunts every Night Fury that crosses his path, and he has his eyes on Toothless. When Grimmel has Hiccup cornered, Hiccup signals an ambush. His friends burst in, surrounding the hunter. But Grimmel smirks and unleashes his venom-spitting dragon. Acid rains down, setting Hiccup's home ablaze. As Grimmel retreats into the night, his voice echoes behind.
Have my dragon ready when I return, or I will destroy everything you love.
Hiccup calls a meeting with his friends and fellow Vikings in the dining hall. He tells them Berk is no longer safe. Grimmel won't stop until every dragon is gone. But there's hope. His father once spoke of a hidden world, a place where dragons live free and safe. Though the group hesitates to leave their home, Hiccup reminds them that home isn't a place. It's the people and the dragons. Astrid stands by him, and together they lead their people and dragons on a bold journey to find the hidden world. The Vikings and their dragons take off in a breathtaking flight sequence. And they're not alone. The Light Fury follows from a distance, still wary of humans. After soaring over oceans and icy peaks, they find a new island to settle on. While exploring, Toothless spots her again and instantly falls head over heels, awkwardly trying to impress her until she notices Hiccup and disappears. As the villagers settle into their new island home, Hiccup reminds them that this is only temporary. He notices that Toothless grows lonely since the Light Fury's departure, so he builds a new tailfin that lets him fly freely without a rider. Astrid is touched by Hiccup's selflessness, while Hiccup stays hopeful, believing Toothless, and maybe even Light Fury, will return. Day by day, Grimmel gets closer to finding Hiccup and the others, and Toothless still hasn't come back. When Valka returns from scouting, she confirms their worst fear. Grimmel is tracking them. Hiccup decides to strike first, but things go downhill fast when Ruffnut gets captured. Now overwhelmed with worry for his village, Ruffnut, and Toothless, Hiccup starts to doubt himself as a leader. Seeing this, Astrid takes him on a flight to clear his head. And that's when they make an incredible discovery: the hidden world. There, they find Toothless ruling like a king beside the Light Fury. It's a breathtaking, glowing paradise for dragons. But the peace doesn't last long. The other dragons mistake Hiccup and Astrid for intruders, and chaos erupts. Just in time, Toothless swoops in and saves them, flying them safely back to New Berk. Toothless clearly isn't thrilled about leaving the hidden world, or his new mate. But the mood lightens when the Light Fury unexpectedly returns. The reunion is short-lived, though, when Ruffnut comes back and brings Grimmel right to them. Grimmel captures both Toothless and the Light Fury. And since Toothless is alpha, every dragon follows. Hiccup is devastated, losing his best friend and doubting himself even more as a leader. But Astrid reminds him of who he really is. With renewed determination and a daring plan, Hiccup rallies his friends to rescue their dragons. Grimmel's ship looms in the distance, holding Toothless, the Light Fury, and all the captured dragons. Determined, Hiccup and his friends take the skies for a daring rescue, gliding through the daylight to strike with stealth and courage. The fight hits its peak as chaos breaks out into the skies. Grimmel takes control of the Light Fury, and he tries to use her against Toothless. Hiccup gets knocked off of Toothless, and the struggle continues on top of the Light Fury, thrashing through the air. When Toothless starts to fall, Hiccup makes the ultimate sacrifice, telling the Light Fury to save Toothless, even if it means losing himself. As they fall towards the ocean, Grimmel grabs onto Hiccup. Thinking quick, Hiccup detaches his prosthetic foot, and Grimmel falls. Right before Hiccup hits the water, the Light Fury swoops in and saves him, and he sees Toothless is safe too. The dragons and the riders share a heartfelt reunion, but Hiccup soon realizes it's time to let Toothless go. He tells his best friend that he and the other dragons need to return to the hidden world, where they'll be safe. It's a goodbye filled with love, not loss. Winter comes to New Berk, and we see Astrid and Hiccup finally getting married, and it seems like Berk is now moving on without their dragons. Years later, we see Hiccup and Astrid, now with 2 kids of their own, sailing to the edge of the hidden world. There, Toothless and the Light Fury appear with 3 adorable baby dragons. The moment is pure magic. The families meet again, soaring together through the clouds just like old times. It's a perfect emotional ending that reminds us that true friendship never really ends. It just takes flight. What makes this movie so special is the growth that we witness, not just in Hiccup, but in Toothless, too. Hiccup learns that he's more than just his dragon. He can stand on his own as a true leader. And then Toothless discovers that he's not alone. He found a home and a love of his own. And at its core, this movie is about friendship, how it changes, how it grows, and how sometimes letting go doesn't mean losing someone. True friendship lasts, even when life takes you in different directions. It's a beautiful, heartfelt ending, and honestly, it still hits me right in the heart every time.
And the final verdict is...
When it comes to the characters in How to Train Your Dragon 3, you really feel how much everyone's grown. Hiccup's not that awkward kid anymore. He's a full-on chief now, still figuring things out, but learning that real leadership isn't about control. It's about letting go and believing in yourself, and also learning to lean on others for help. And then we have Astrid, basically his rock. She's smart, confident, and always knows when to give Hiccup that little extra push that he needs. Then we have Toothless, who now has found love, and he's learning how to be his own dragon without Hiccup. And honestly, he's living his best life. The Light Fury is a perfect match for him. She's mysterious, elegant, and just a little bit out of his league. And let's not forget Grimmel, the smug dragon hunter. He's calm, calculated, and then totally opposite of Hiccup, which makes their clash so good. And of course, the rest of the gang, Snotlout, Fishlegs, Roughnut, and Toughnut. They are still as chaotic as ever, but they're more mature. In some ways, that is. They bring the laughs and the heart that makes this world feel alive. We've watched them grow up together, and by the time that this movie is over, it honestly feels like we're saying goodbye to family.
And the final verdict is...
The soundtrack for How to Train Your Dragon 3 was once again composed by John Powell, the mastermind behind all 3 films' soundtracks. Honestly, I feel like this man deserves his own dragon for what he's done for this series. Powell brings back the familiar themes we all love from the first 2 movies, but gives them a bittersweet emotional edge that fits this final chapter perfectly. The music really leans into the heart of the story, especially during the goodbye between Hiccup and Toothless. You can feel every note tug at your emotions. Now, personally, I still think How to Train Your Dragon 2 might be the stronger soundtrack overall, but this one still holds up. It's beautiful, it's emotional, and it's a perfect send-off for such a beloved story.
And the final verdict is...
When it comes to the visuals of this movie, they are probably hands down the best looking in the trilogy. The leap from the first movie to this movie is stunning. Everything from the lighting to textures, everything feels richer and more alive. DreamWorks used their new Moonray lighting system, which made the clouds and fire and even Toothless scales look incredibly realistic while still keeping that signature storybook style. The flight sequences are still breathtaking, and the hidden world itself is pure eye candy. Glowing crystals, waterfalls, and vibrant colors everywhere. But what really makes this visuals of this movie so special is how that every frame feels like a painting, making it a perfect, beautiful send-off for such an incredible series.
And the final verdict is...
When looking at the cultural impact of How to Train Your Dragon 3, I think it's important to look at it as part of the trilogy. This trilogy shows that kids' movies don't have to be simple. They can tell deep, emotional stories about growing up, love, and learning to let go, all while keeping the sense of adventure and wonder. This trilogy also helped DreamWorks cement its place in animation. When you hear the name Toothless, you feel something. He's truly iconic, and thanks to this series, DreamWorks didn't just make a great movie, they created a timeless story and characters that will live on for generations. This movie really wraps up the trilogy with so much heart. It's all about friendship, growth, and learning to let go. It's bittersweet. You don't want it to end, but you know it has to. And honestly, every time I rewatch it, I find something new to love. And it's not just about dragons. It's about growing up, moving on, and remembering where you came from.
And the final verdict is... And now Secret Sauce time. Does this movie have what it takes to deserve Secret Sauce? Final score.
Well, I hope you enjoyed flying through the skies with me over Berk, or New Berk. If you like this movie review, be sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel because I have many more movie reviews coming down the line, so you don't want to miss out on that. But until next week, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next movie review. Bye!
Gross. Unless it's me.
That's for you, Kai.